Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are reviewing Raikou for today, and basically since the Rainbow Cup has been announced, I've had requests to talk about Raikou and to use it in a video, and here we go. We have it right now. I've been hesitating, to be honest with you, because it is a steep investment. It does take 100 rare candy as well as 100k stardust, so it is quite expensive, right? So no doubt about that. But I went ahead and invested in it, and I know I had said in a previous video that I was regretting it, but I actually don't think I regret it now. I'm actually really satisfied with it, because even if your opponent knows that you're leading with Raikou, and there's no way to know that, but even if they know that and they counter it, it's still, I mean, there's really no good counters against it, because even if you lead with a grass type, okay, it resists Wild Charge, that's great. Same with Quagsire, but you have Shadow Ball, which is going to do a lot of damage, and they charge up really fast with that Thunder Shock move. So you definitely want Thunder Shock as a fast move, and then Shadow Ball and Wild Charge as charge moves. So that's the move set that you want to go with Raikou if you decide to use it. And towards the middle of these battles and whatnot, you know, Jokes had basically knew I was going to run Raikou, so he was bringing Pokemon to counter it, like that Venusaur, as I said, which you'll see as like Quagsire, and I was still able to win matches or win games because of how strong Raikou is. And it's going to take shields from them. You might have to use shields as well because it's not a bulky Pokemon. But either way, as you just saw, we won that match. This match, we don't have we don't have Raikou on our team. We have Slowbro, and I actually do want to make a separate video with Slowbro or a Confusion user in general, because I feel like Confusion is a solid option as well. But yeah, this video doesn't have that either. This doesn't have Raikou, but all my other battles will have Raikou. I feel like Raikou is, if you're going to bring it on your team, I feel like it's a good lead. I feel like that's something you want to do. You want to have it as a lead. You don't want to bring it in, at least from what I've experienced and what I've battled with. I don't think I won every battle in this video. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But it was really, really strong strong Pokemon. I loved using it. Can't say it enough. I feel like it's better than Raichu for this cup. I mean, even if you have a Legacy Raichu with Thunder Shock, Wild Charge, and Thunder Punch or Brick Break, that's not terrible. But again, Venusaur will resist that. You know, Brick Break's not going to do a lot of damage to Quagsire. So, yeah, Raikou, definitely the way to go. It has a higher attack stat and whatnot than Raichu. It is a steep investment, so if you don't want to invest in it, I totally hear you on that, and I'm not going to fault you for it. But, yeah, so definitely a fun Pokemon to use, and I really enjoyed it, and it'll probably be good for future cups that allow electric types and legendaries as well. But that's the second match, and we do actually win that. So we're going to go ahead and jump into another match, beginning with Raikou, and he begins with Lantern. So Lantern is neutral to that Wild Charge, and we're going to be able to get to it first. We could have won for the Shadow Ball as well, but why not go for the Wild Charge? You could just see how much, I mean, Lantern is a bulky Pokemon, and you could see how much it did. We take that Thunderbolt, and we're actually able to get to another Wild Charge. I did expect the shield at that point. He is going to go ahead and throw up a Thunderbolt, which would have knocked us out because, as I mentioned, Raikou is a frail Pokemon, so that's one of the downsides. Wild Charge will be able to feint Lantern, though, so we do have the Pokemon advantage at this point, and the shields are even, so we get to see what he switches into. A little bit of lag. I was trying to go for a charge move. I don't know if that lag affected my inability to get off Wild Charge. It might have, but either way, we click on Dragon Claw by mistake. That was the total mistake. It wasn't even a mistake. I just didn't mean to do it. I don't know if I don't even think I clicked on it. I don't know what happened there, guys, but that was not the correct play. But anyway, we get Ice Beam off against his Quagsire, and we're going to go ahead and shield this up because we don't want Azumel to be knocked out. And we have an Ice Beam and a Play Rough ready to go. Getting off that Ice Beam against Beedrill. He's going to have to block this, of course. And we actually get off another Ice Beam. And thanks to Raikou taking one of his shields earlier, he's out of shields. And we're going to win that match. So Raikou won't survive for the duration of the battle, but it will help you in the end. You know, it's going to take shields, it's going to knock out Pokemon. That's what Raikou does. But as you can see, he predicts the Raikou lead, and he leads with Venusaur. So let's see how this turns out. So going for the Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, Frenzy Plant charges ever so slightly before Shadow Ball, so it's going to take shield from us. We get the Shadow Ball off now, and then we get a wild charge, which would knock out Venusaur if he didn't shield, so at least we did take his shield. I'm going to go ahead and let Raikou go down here because we did so much damage to him, and Charizard will be able to finish off Venusaur, so a pretty even matchup at this point. He does bring in Quagsire, and of course I'm going to have to switch to Azumarill. He brings in Mantine, which was an interesting switch. We're going to go ahead and use Ice Beam right now, which will do a fair amount to Mantine. And we actually get off another Ice Beam, and I'm expecting a shield right there, but he actually doesn't shield. He actually survives, and I didn't think he was going to survive, but getting off an Aerial Ace, not going to do a lot to Azumarill. Now he has Quagsire out, but we do have a shield ready to go, and we're going to take his shield. Gonna go ahead and block this Stone Edge because I was fairly confident I could get to another move, and we do take that Earthquake, getting off a Blast Burn with Charizard, which will do a lot of damage to that Quagsire, and we get to a Dragon Claw, which will be able to knock out Quagsire. So a nice switch on our end to be able to take that Earthquake. If it was Stone Edge, it would have knocked out Charizard. We would have brought in Azumarill, and that probably would have been able to finish it off with Play Rough and whatnot, but yeah, anyway, this match we begin with the Azumarill. He begins with Quagsire, so again, he was predicting our Raikou lead, but we actually didn't lead Raikou there. Using Ice Beam right now against his Beedrill. I'm not doing a great amount of damage. I didn't mean to use Ice Beam. I meant to switch. You saw I was trying to switch, but then it hit Ice Beam or something. So that, I guess it was a glitch. I don't know. It happens sometimes. That's happened before to me. Probably happened to you guys. But either way, that's okay. He brings in Quagsire. We're going to go ahead and shield that Stone Edge. Otherwise, we would have been knocked out ASAP. Blast Burn will do a good amount of damage to that Quagsire, so we go ahead right now and use Dragon Claw, and he's going to go ahead and block that, so at least we take his shield, so that's good for us. Gonna bring in Azumarill right now, and we get off an Ice Beam, and he still has one shield left, which he opts to use, and right now we're going to be hit by a Stone Edge, and I knew I would survive that Stone Edge, thanks to Azumarill's really incredible bulk. But, you know, if it was an Earthquake, we wouldn't have survived it, but I guess he couldn't get to it in time. We switch in Raikou right now, and he's going to get off an Outrage, and then we bring in Azumarill, so he actually wins this one, so that was a close match. But, yeah, I was trying to figure out some way to win. I knew he was close to Outrage or whatnot, but it was a really close match, really good match, but he did win that. But we also didn't lead with Raikou, so we are leading with Raikou this time, getting off a Wild Charge, knowing it would do a lot of damage to that Fortress. I mean, Fortress is a bulky Pokemon, isn't it? And I knew I resist Heavy Slam. I knew that's all he had on his Fortress, so I wasn't too worried. Getting off another Wild Charge, he actually blocks that, expecting a Shadow Ball, so that was good for us. Bringing in Azumarill right now. We're going to go ahead and block this because I didn't want to take an Earthquake. It could have been a Stone Edge, which I would have taken, but I thought it was going to be Earthquake, so that's why I blocked. Ice Beam will do a good amount of damage to him, and he gets off an Earthquake right now, and we're actually able to take that just fine. Azumarill is such a tank. Yeah, I was basically going in with Raikou, Azumarill, and I believe Charizard or a Grass type or something like Meganium, and yeah, I was just doing really well with that team. You know, I wasn't changing things up, just going in with that team from this battle onwards, and yeah, just was able to win, you know. But he gets off Ice Beam. We're going to block that because we can get off this Play Rough, which he's going to block. And that's fine for us. That's fine for us. He's going to go ahead and get off a Play Rough. And right now we have Charizard, and Charizard is going to be able to take this Ice Beam. So we do take the Ice Beam, and we get to a Blast Burn, and this is going to be able to knock out that Azumarill. So goodbye, Azumarill, and that is the game. So really nice game. So we actually only have one more battle for this video. I thought this video was a little bit longer, but no, we actually only have one more video. So he leads with Venusaur, expecting the Raikou lead, but that's okay with us. Yeah, I was just seeing what I had in the back, I guess. He gets off Frenzy Plant. I'm going to go ahead and get off Shadow Ball, and he's going to go ahead and opt to block that. That's okay. And right now he goes ahead and gets off another Frenzy Plant. So he does take both of our shields. So that's one thing, if they do lead with a Raikou counter, that you have to watch out for. But that is okay because we're able to get off a Wild Charge and either take his last shield or knock him out. So we do have the Pokemon advantage, but he has a shield advantage. And he brings in Kingdra, which will finish off Raikou easily. Bringing in Azumarill, so this is a positive matchup for us. He brings in his own Azumarill. I'm going to switch to Meganium. I'm not sure if I should have switched. Maybe I should have just stayed in with Azumel, but I wanted to keep my Azumel for his Kingdra. That's why I switched. But anyway, he's going to go ahead and block that Frenzy Plant, as I knew he would, because he'd be able to get to another Ice Beam and knock out my Meganium. So we do go ahead and bring in Azumel, and we get off a Play Rough, which is good for us. And then we actually get off another Play Rough. I thought he'd be able to get off his before ours, but not the case. And now it's Azumel versus Kingdra, and you know how this matchup goes. Unless we have like 1 HP left or something, we're going to be able to take this game because Azumel beats Dragon types. So, so you can see how good Raikou is, and that's going to be it for this one, guys. See you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, click on one of the links to check out another one of my videos that you'll probably enjoy.